Our tech expert, Mike Yanni, flew in from Calgary, and boy, his arm's tired. He's joining us in studio now to talk about all the new things in the tech world, including Google looking at ending plagiarizing.
Yeah, very timely, right?
Interesting, yeah.
Back to school.
Get ready to go back to school.
Just around the corner, but I don't think students are going to like this. So Google has had something called assignments for a while, and that lets teachers basically divvy out homework. They can keep track of where the students are with homework. Yep. Now they've added a new feature where it's like basically cut and paste. If students submit an assignment, they can actually cut and paste pieces into the search engine, and then it'll check. It basically references it to about 10 million online documents to see, did they plagiarize at all?
Yeah. That's tough, though, because in this day and age with so many documents online, eventually, whether you intend to or not, you're going to hit a match.
Exactly, but this is the neat part about this. Students can actually use it as well. So students can actually take their work and compare it to online to make sure that it's a little bit different than what's already out there. Oh my so both students and teachers can use it.
Harder and harder to make new, though, too.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
There's only so much out there you can write about. I was saying Holden Caulfield or something like that. They even talk about that book anymore? Air Muffs, not ear muffs.
How do you listen to your music?
Headphones, wireless headphones.
Wireless headphones,
yeah.
But like the full-on headphones?
No, but I do love them.
Yeah, no, I do like them too. And of course, AirPods are extremely popular. See them everywhere. So yeah, how about Air Muffs? Think about headphones without the band. This is a startup out of Seattle. And in theory, it sounds great, but they kind of,
how do
they look different.
What do you use, glue?
No, they clip on the back of your ears. There's almost like kind of like clips that go on the back, kind of like, you know, the sports earbuds. Yeah. It's very similar. So the interesting thing is they're magnetic, so they clamp together, and then they form a Bluetooth speaker.
You look like you could be Lord of the Rings or something.
I know. I'm not a really big fan of this look.
Yeah, no.
And they're not cheap.
Super light, though.
They are light, but they're about $400 US.
Ooh.
And they're still testing them out. They're not hitting the market just yet. I don't know. It looks pretty bizarre.
And you're gonna have to find a pair that fit too. And they're not easily adjusted.
A lot of questions.
Have you heard them? Any idea of the sound quality?
They're apparently okay. But like they're
for
testing.
$400.
Yeah, they're pretty early stages right now.
Right. And what was the third? I just drew a complete blank.
Burner phones.
That's it. Designer burner phones.
Right. My son always wants the latest, greatest smartphone out there, but it seems the trend now is going to burner phones because kids want to do things behind their parents' back. They don't want to be tracked.
Yeah.
And you know it's a big thing when a big company like Supreme gets involved. I mean, of course, Supreme's involved with fashion. The interesting thing...
They are the one right now, aren't they?
Yeah.
No matter what they do.
This phone is bare bones. Mediocre camera. There's no apps for it. It's pretty simplistic, and it's going to be fairly cheap. They're not saying how much it's going to be yet, but you know when it comes out, it's going to sell it in an hour, and then it's going to be online.
Outside the door for anything they do, right?
And it's going to be online for four times the price within the next day.
So like $150.
I think it's going to be under 100. It's under 3G. $100. I'm talking bare bones, 3G phones. Like that's
ring it up. Hello, Martha. Get an operator on the other end. All right, what's the last little toy you have?
I quickly had to bring this in. I always bring something in, right?
Yep.
Speaking
a gift, thank you.
From burner phones to smartphones, this is Samsung's Galaxy Note 10 Plus, the larger one. And I just got to show it off because it's beautiful. One thing I want to show off is the color. It is a bit of a fingerprint magnet.
Whatever, and then I started watching the lights in it. It's so pretty.
it's Aura Glow, and it's beautiful. It's also full of fingerprints right now, but it reflects all the colors of the rainbow. I think this is the color everyone's going to want. But flip it around, though, you'll see what they've done now with the notch in the front camera. Look at that. Like, it's just a tiny little pinhole now.
That's it.
The S Pen is basically the stylus, but Samsung calls it S Pen. You can wave it around like a wand and do things without even touching the screen now. You can use it as your remote to take pictures with the cameras. So lots of cool features. It actually hits Rogers and other carriers on Friday. But a lot of viewers have been asking me, hey, have you tried it? Do you like it? I love it. Battery life, stellar. Stellar battery life. Right? But if you have questions, just reach out on social media if you have any questions about Samsung's new Galaxy Note 10 Plus.
Gadget_guy, right? All right, Mike, as always, a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us.